Focus on business. Our business editor Mike Eppel joining us now. Mike, oil on the rise again today.
Yeah, $60 a barrel right now, Ted. It has moved higher, and this is a reflection of a few things going on. We've got the U.S. dollar dropping, sending commodity prices higher, and tomorrow, and actually later this evening, we'll get the first of two signals on U.S. inventory, and for a second week in a row, the numbers on U.S. supply expected to drop, and that will be the first time we've seen that in well over a half year's time. So a little bit of momentum to the upside for oil this morning. Should mention, Western Canada Select Price, the benchmark for Alberta crude, has seen a fairly substantial recovery here over the past month and a half. It bottomed out late March at around $29 a barrel. This morning I just checked the price at $51 a barrel. So a fairly good rate of return, at least from the lows, and maybe a little bit more stability there. Overall, volatile day on the market so far. Bond yields, borrowing costs in the bond market higher again, highest of the year as a matter of fact. The bond market rout has wiped out a couple of $1 trillion from global investments in that particular component of the market, and stocks are opening the day lower. We've got Greece again, still negotiating, trying to pay its latest debt installment price. Earnings in this morning from Encana. The numbers actually not as bad as forecast, at least on the operating profit, which was about $8 million. That is still down 98% over a year ago, and a net loss of $1.7 billion. But they're trying to stabilize things. Price for oil, as mentioned, dropped off significantly, bottomed in March, and this is where all these first quarter earnings are reflected in the energy sector specifically. And Air Canada, they're saying it's a record breaker for the airline, which made $122 million in operating earnings. Bring in all those one-time charges, they still lost millions, but percentage of seats filled was up, and the cost per passenger, that was down. Their jet fuel costs, big contributing expense, a lot lower actually on a year-over-year comparison. And signs of a bubble, well, you know, you talk about real estate and you talk about stocks and bonds and all these other asset classes. What's hot right now? High-end art. A Picasso painting yesterday in New York City sold for $180 million at auction, highest price ever. And we've also seen some other artwork over the course of this week sell at record prices. The high net worth investors are looking for any rate of return they can get. They already did their moves into real estate, and now they're looking at art. And of course, it's you know, who's going to buy it at an even higher price when they look to sell. It's in the eye of the beholder, that's for sure.
No kidding, no kidding. All right, good stuff. Thank you, Mike. That's our business editor Mike Eppel reporting this morning. A Giacometti sculpture also sold for about $140 million US, by the way. You can hear Mike on 660 News at 26 and 56 after the hour.